Welcome back to CodeWithKamira, and today we are going to connect our UI for the login screen with the logic. However, before we do that, let's do some improvement from the previous episode. So we had our qubit in here. So when you click this button to log in, we need to immediately emit the login loading state. We had forgotten this. So without it, you can't see the progress indicator. So now this emits it. Okay. Then also in the states, for error and success, we had forgotten to override the props. So we return response. And still here in the error message, So it will be checking for the change in the message or change in the response. Now let's go to the login page. Login page here. So on this login page, we need controllers that are going to capture the username and the password. Final username controller to be equal to text editing control. And then final, what's wrong with this? Controller. And then final password controller because text editing controller. But then we need to override dispose. Okay. We got username controller dot dispose. And then password editing controller dot dispose as well. Okay. We shall have a form. So we need a global key. That's final. We call it form key. B equal to a global key. But of which type? Form state. Form state. Okay. And we need a function that is going to perform. Okay. That is void has no return. Submit login data. Okay. We can say if form key dot current state dot validate. So I could say if not, then return. Okay, we are returning if not. So we need to create a login request, login request, request is equals to login request. Okay, this being not nullable, then it's better I do this. Final request equals this. The username is going to be username controller dot text dot trim to remove extra space, and the password is going to be password dot text dot trim. Okay. Now here is what we call the function in the provider context dot read. So what are you reading? We are reading a qubit of AuthCubit, and we are looking for a function that should be login, and we pass that request. So we come in the border here, we design our UI as we would like it to be. We can surround this column with a form. So form, we give it a key as the form key, and then in the form we can have text. We call this welcome back, and we can style it with a font size of 28. Okay, then we can leave some space. So you find that this form, I'm just imagining it, so you can as well imagine how your form should look like. But provided you know the key elements on that form are the button, password, and username. So we can have a sized box with a height of say 8. Okay, then we can have another text. We say sign in to continue. Sign in to continue. Okay, we can still style. Okay, we shall see what happens. Put a sized box with height of 8. So over here we have a text form field. So there are many properties on the text form field that you can utilize, and one of them is controller, which is now the username controller. Okay, and another one is the validator, so which is having value. So here you validate, maybe if the value is null or value.trim is empty, you return something, enter username. So if the value is equals to null or value.trim that is empty, you return enter username. Okay, it needs the curly brace. This is still fine, but we can do that. Else, you return null, meaning you can proceed. Okay. We put a sized box here to create space, maybe 20. It may be too much space. Since we are using 8, this can be 16 anyway. Okay, now I create another one for password. I give this a controller of password, the same, but this one is going to be enter password. Okay, now here on top of the login button, we say submit login data. That's the function we call. So let's run and see what we've drawn so far. Okay. This is what we have. We can put a space. That's small. Put 18, 16. So this button, okay, we need to check something. If state is login, loading state, then show circular progress indicator, else this power button, but we make this centered. And we had called this somewhere. Let's remove this. Okay. So also now there is something to look at. We have input fields here, but they are not even visible. Okay. Let's try to give a declaration. Input declaration. And now, what do we choose? Label. We can give it, this is what? This is password. Label, you can say password. Not just label text. We say password. What else? There are so many, as you can see. So we can have a prefix on a password, prefix, icon, and we can have the icon as icons dot lock. I need the lock outline. Lock outline. Okay. Then we can have the border. Or border can be outline input border. Outline input border. Okay. We can have border radius, which is border radius dot circular, and you put maybe 8. Okay, for this, we can have another property, and there is border side, which is border. Look for which one we want color. Border side. We give it a color. Let's give it colors dot gray dot border color. Whereas app color? App color is under theme. It was created, so you can also have your colors somewhere that are useful for the application. Let's run and see that. Okay. We need to give a padding. Let's give some padding. And the padding should be, or it should be symmetric. Symmetric, where horizontally we give 16 and vertically we give 8. Build. Okay. Let me try to expand this. I want to see something. Okay. Do we copy this, the password? We want to copy this decoration. We take it in here as well. We call this username. On username, we don't need the prefix. So we have where to put our username. We need the padding. So we copy this. So we do padding. Okay. So put the username, put your password. Okay. Let's do something. This button is not looking good. We make an improvement on this button. Style the button and see. So the style can be elevated button dot style from elevated button dot style from. Now there you see those are properties you can make use of. I may look for shape. And round rectangle border. Rounded rectangle border. Foreground color. Up color dot. What happens? Let me check something. Foreground. I want a nice color. Blue. Border radius is border radius. dot circular 16 foreground color, we give it white. We can wrap it in a sized box whose width we give double dot infinity. It may demand the height, but we need to have this first. Okay, but we give a padding. We give a padding which is symmetric. Horizontal we give 16. And the vertical we can leave the 8. Then I see this border radius as if it's too much and looking bad. All right, let me copy this. Should I put it below the button? Okay. And I say text. I pass username, Emily, space, password, let me build. Hopefully they are visible. Let me increase their sizes. I put a style, text style, font size 18. Should be Emily's. So let's try to see if the logins I'm displaying are okay. Username. We have Emily's password, Emily space, Emily space. Okay, yes, it has logged in successfully. All right, so those are our logins. So we need to create the pages. We need to go to, we can call it home page. And we have our STL, STLS, stateless, ST4 home page. And this is that. So here we return a scaffold upper title. We give it home page, border. We give a column which children server text that reads, this is the home page. So we get to our login. Now let's go to routes. We define home page, static const home page is equal to home page. The router, we say copy this, paste, this is home, this should be home page, and we want it to take us to home page. Okay, so in here, in the login, we on success, we say context dot go. We send it route path dot home page. So on success, we send it there. Okay. Okay, so let's try to log in. Emily S password Emily space. All right, so we've been routed to this our home page. So the login is working. Something also we can look into in here. So here we need to ensure the widget is initialized. So widget Flutter binding dot ensure initialized. This is very important. So it ensures the widget is initialized before it can run anything. You can design your UI as to what you want, provided you get the concept. So I think this one can be better. So here, when there is an error, we are saying we want to show a snack bar, and the snack bar is going to have this message. Okay, and the behavior is the floating. So we can try this. So this is it. But then our error message is not good. I need something here. Circular progress indicator. And I want it centered. So let me try. First of all, this. Okay. To get that error message. I want to print my error is state.message because I expect to give a well-known, a well-defined error. Let me see if we get here 44, and let me see if we get here print here. Let me see. So I check this 44. If I get it, means that something is wrong. Okay. Yes. So this means we are getting in the else, then we need to check the repository. So in the repository, we are saying response this.login. Okay, let me print something. Print got here. Then I print no, I am error. So I'm interested in something. No, I am error. So here we are catching this error, but we need to also get the deal exception. I need to catch import the so I return a network response because it may fail at the deal part. Yes, and the error going to be response dot because it's a map. I can pick message. Okay, I type yes, I get invalid credentials, what I wanted. So we go back on home, can comment. Invalid credentials, right. This is good. Username, Emily's password, Emily space Good. All right. Thank you for watching Code with Kamira, and kindly subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Bye.